Imagine standing on the edge of a vast ocean, where each wave represents a ripple of your actions, crashing not just on the shore of our world, but echoing in the spiritual realm. Have you ever wondered how the simple things you do every day could be changing lives in ways you can't even see? The truth is, every choice you make sends waves into the unseen world, shaping your spirit and the lives of those around you. So, in this video, we'll explore how the physical and spiritual are intricately woven together, and how your actions today can lead to heavenly miracles tomorrow. And if you feel transformed by this message, don't forget to subscribe and share your story in the comments below. Let us know where you're from or how Jesus has touched your life. Remember, Jesus will bless you and always be with you. Moses stood atop the hill, a solitary silhouette against the vast expanse, with the horde of Amalekites clashing fiercely against the Israelites below. This was no ordinary battle. It was a divine encounter where the scene was merely a representation of the unseen struggle taking place in the spiritual realm. At this moment, Moses performed an act as ancient as it was profound. He raised his hands towards the heavens. This gesture, simple yet symbolic, was saturated with faith and a deep spiritual meaning. By doing so, Moses was not merely trying to affect the physical outcome of a battle, but was forging a powerful connection with the Almighty, invoking divine support for Israel's cause. Throughout the ages, the act of raising hands has been recognized as a physical demonstration of spiritual surrender and supplication. In many cultures and traditions, the raised hand symbolized not only an appeal, but also an opening, a readiness to receive the blessings and energy that the universe has to offer. In the context of Moses and the battle against the Amalekites, his outstretched hands were a conduit, channeling divine power and support. Exodus 17 verse 11 tells us succinctly, as long as Moses held up his hands, the Israelites were winning, but whenever he lowered his hands, the Amalekites were winning. This passage underscores a fundamental spiritual principle. Physical actions, when performed with intention and faith, can influence spiritual outcomes. As Moses kept his hands raised, the Israelites surged ahead. His gesture was not only a plea for divine intervention, but also a declaration of dependency on God's strength, acknowledging that it was not by their might, but by divine will that victory would be assured. This narrative of Moses is a timeless testament to the power of physical acts in the realm of the spiritual. Just as the position of Moses' hands affected the outcome of the battle, our physical postures and actions can echo through the spiritual realm, amplifying our prayers and appeals to God's ear. This reflects a recurring pattern found throughout biblical accounts, where physical gestures are intertwined with spiritual power, a physical manifestation of faith's intangible strength. The raising of hands appears repeatedly across Scripture, often accompanying prayer, supplication, and worship. This simple gesture becomes a powerful spiritual tool, a means to express earnest dependency on God and readiness to receive His grace and power. In the life of a believer, raising hands in prayer symbolizes surrender, a voluntary relinquishing of control to the divine will, a moment of vulnerability where one's heart and soul are laid bare before God. It signifies a readiness to receive, be it guidance, strength, or intervention, anchoring oneself in the assurance of God's promises. Moreover, in this act of raising hands, one finds a profound expression of community and collective faith. The battle scene in Exodus also illustrates a beautiful picture of spiritual camaraderie. As Moses' arms grew weary, Aaron and Hur stood by his side. They placed a stone for him to sit on, and as the day wore on, they supported his hands, ensuring they remained steady until sunset. This collaborative effort paints a vivid picture of life's spiritual journey. It parallels the support system necessary within communities of faith, underscoring the significance of spiritual allies who help when one's strength wanes. Just as Aaron and Hur participated in holding up Moses' hands, providing support in every sense, we too are called to support each other's spiritual walks. This physical support of God's chosen leader enhanced the spiritual efficacy of Moses' intercession, leading to a decisive victory for Israel. Thus, it highlights an important aspect of ecclesiastical life, the power of unified purpose and prayer in the pursuit of divine goals. Practically, this story invites each of us to incorporate gestures of faith into our spiritual practices, recognizing that our physical actions can significantly impact spiritual realities. As with Moses, the act of raising hands becomes more than mere posture. It morphs into a tangible expression of faith and spiritual alignment, a declaration that we are not alone in our struggles, relying on our strength, but connecting to a higher, omnipotent power always ready to aid those who faithfully reach out for it. This concept of raised hands as a prayer tool encourages us to see beyond the immediate and focus on the power supplied by the divine. It urges believers to embody their faith physically, for faith is not solely a mental or spiritual exercise, but is intended to encompass every part of our being, including the physical. Such acts can inspire deeper devotion, greater connection, and open one's heart more fully to God's will. As one explores the profound illustrate in the story of Moses, the timeless essence becomes clear. When faith meets action, mountains move, battles are won, and divine purpose is fulfilled. This account invites you to consider where in your life you might need to lift your hands and hearts in faith, to open yourself to the divine, and to create a space for God's will to manifest powerfully. Moses' physical act of faith led the Israelites to victory, and in much the same manner, your faithful actions hold the potential to unlock miracles and blessings in the spiritual realm, paving the way for divine intervention in your life battles. Thus, as we delve further into the practice and purpose of fasting as a spiritual tool in subsequent discussions, remember that the journey of faith is a holistic one, encompassing both spirit and body. Recognize the intertwining of intention and action, and let the example of Moses inspire you to engage both your physical being and spiritual essence in the service of God's divine purpose for your life. Fasting has long been recognized as a powerful spiritual tool across various faiths, offering believers a deeper connection with the divine. The story of Daniel provides a profound example of fasting's potential to stir the heavens and influence the earthly realm. In the biblical account found in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, we encounter a man deeply moved by his people's distress, residing in the Persian court's opulence.